This morning, history on the moon.
We are transmitting, and welcome to the moon.
After a week-long flight totaling more than 620,000 miles, a 14-foot tall lunar lander named Odysseus successfully landing on the lunar surface just after 6 p.m. Thursday. Mission Control reporting that the craft is upright and transmitting data.
Today, for the first time in more than a half century, the U.S. has returned to the moon.
Odysseus, or Odie, is the first U.S.-built spacecraft to land on the moon since 1972. The company behind Odie, Intuitive Machines, is the first business to land a private spacecraft on the moon. But it wasn't all smooth sailing.
And we'll stand by and monitor as Nova Controls continues to work this issue.
As Odie prepared to land, Mission Control found that the navigation system used to guide the lander to the surface wasn't working.
We're not dead yet.
Luckily, the team was able to rewrite the lander's software, taking control of an experimental navigation system.
I know this was a nail-biter, but we are on the surface.
Odie is now at home on the moon's south pole. It's the first of many missions NASA has set to explore the area, which is suspected to have ice that could be converted to drinking water or be made into rocket fuel.
The moon has 1/6 the gravity of Earth and no atmosphere, so it's a much easier place to launch deeper into the solar system. It really is the launching pad into human exploration out into deep space.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
The spacecraft left Earth on February 14th, traveling roughly 620,000 miles to get to the moon. Other private companies have attempted to complete the mission, but none of them landed on the moon until Thursday night, making this a giant leap for further moon exploration. And coming up in our next hour of Good Morning Northwest, it was a smash and grab with a stolen car in Pasco. Also new this morning, the investigation so far into a burglary and what the driver left behind for police to find. And many officers and first responders host a meet and greet for the community with a sweet twist. Plus, meteorologist Tiffany Savona has your full weather forecast. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. The time is 6:01 on Friday, February 23rd. Happy Friday. We're going to check in on your forecast with meteorologist Tiffany Savona. And Tiffany, it looks like the temperature keeps dropping and dropping.
The temperature does keep dropping, Jessica. That's because we have seen a clear sky overnight. Winds are light, so that allows temperatures to really drop like a rock, and that's exactly what has happened. So we're at 27 now in Pasco. This is a look out of our Dust Devil sky cam. Visibility looking pretty good right now, but some patchy fog has developed, and I wouldn't be surprised if visibility did lower a little bit as we get closer to sunrise, which is around or just before 6:50 this morning. So temperatures are below the freezing mark in many spots. That's the case in Tri-Cities. 28 in Yakima, it's 31 in Prosser, 30 in Hermiston, 35 degrees in Walla Walla. So if you get an opportunity to head outside early this morning, if you're getting ready to head out to work between now and 6:30, take a peek in the southeast sky, because if you don't have any fog out there, you should be able to see Venus and Mars very close to one another. Venus is the brightest planet in the sky, so it's usually pretty easy to see. So check that out if you can. Otherwise, as you're dropping the kids off to bus, maybe approaching the carpool line, temperatures will be in the lower 30s at that time, and then we'll see temperatures climbing into the upper 50s. So a great day to let the kids play outside. And the weekend is looking pretty good temperature-wise. We'll break it down for you and let you know when we're expecting more rain and possibly snow coming up. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. New this morning, the Pasco Police Department is investigating a smash and grab burglary of a business on South Oregon Street. So take a look at this. The driver of a silver car smashed through the front entrance of the Smoke Mania and gift shop glass and vapes. Authorities say the crash caused major front end damage to the car, and when the driver took off, they left their front fender and license plate at the scene. This led authorities to find out the car had been reported stolen, and at this time, damage estimates are not known, and authorities are looking at the surveillance footage to see what, if anything, was taken. Also, police and other law enforcement agencies are still searching for the man who triggered an hours-long standoff yesterday in a Kennewick neighborhood. But as our own Austin Reed tells us, neighbors say police activity in this part of the city is far from uncommon.
So this morning at about 7:30, there was a bus that stopped in front of my house, and usually we don't get a school bus down this road. And I looked out, and there was about 3 cop cars down in front of that house. And then 2 more show up. And then 2 more show up. And by 8:30, there was about 7 cops sitting outside the house in tactical gear.
And by around 9:30, the Tri-Cities Regional SWAT team arrived, where they spent hours pleading with a wanted male suspect. The whole ordeal was started due to a stolen car investigation.
A KPD officer that was on patrol came across a stolen vehicle in front of a residence near 6th and Conway Street. That led to the arrest of a wanted subject and the identification of another individual we were looking for related to an ongoing investigation.
From using flashbangs to canines and the PA system, Kennewick PD tells Apple Valley News Now that throughout the day, a total of 13 individuals peacefully made it out of the home. 2 of those were arrested on charges not related to this case. Now, by 4 p.m., the situation came to an end after law enforcement discovered the wanted suspect was nowhere to be found, in or out of the home.
I haven't got a call or anything from my kids' school yet, Westgate. And it's about 9:30 in the morning, and then I get a text, hey, we're in a non-critical lockdown. It is now, let's see, what time? It's about 1 o'clock? It's 2:40 now.
Right. Police are not releasing the wanted person's name or any other details about him at this time, but do say they will be on the lookout for who they need. This neighbor, among others, were asked to shelter in place. She tells me she's not surprised about today's ordeal because the house in question seems to have a lot of regular police activity.
The police have been out here multiple times. There's been people shot and killed outside the home in a truck. That was a couple of months ago. So this neighborhood used to be a great neighborhood. There was elderly, there's families.
I can't speak to the history of the home other than to say that it is known to law enforcement.
Reporting in Kennewick for Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest, I'm Austin Reed.
And we will continue to keep you updated on the latest developments, and authorities say nobody was hurt. In continuing coverage in Milton Freewater, the search for the suspect in a deadly robbery continues this morning. If you take a look at your screen, this is 39-year-old Emerald Julia Pena. She's wanted in connection to the robbery at the Red Tea Garden that happened back on Sunday. According to the Milton Freewater Police Department, investigators believe Pena was involved in robbing the restaurant, and the restaurant's owner, Shu-Yi Wu, died after she tried to stop the person from stealing the cash drawer. Authorities are asking for information on where Pena could be, and if you know where she is, call the Milton Freewater Police Department at the number on your screen. And we had the opportunity to talk to the family of Shu-Yi Wu. Her daughter says she was a hardworking woman who never let the obstacles in life stop her. Sally Zhu told Apple Valley News Now that this was not the first time this happened to her parents' restaurant. She says both of her parents had been victims of a violent crime just a few years ago.
My mom and father were actually held at gunpoint, and they were robbed back then too, and there's news articles on that. And $7,000 were stolen. And so I believe that this whole robbery thing, this was a common occurrence with my parents' restaurant. It just kept happening to them.
Despite experiencing these types of violent acts, Zhu says her parents continued to work their business and worked hard for every cent they made.
My mom, she worked 7 days a week, over 10 hours a day. And I just want to say, I believe that this is something that any business owner would do, You're not just going to let people walk out with your money, Obviously, if you know that they might be armed, you're not going to confront them, but this lady, she just came in, took the money, and I believe my mom was right for trying to defend what was hers and what she's worked so hard for.
Now, Zhu says they want to open the business back up and that it would be the best way to honor Wu. However, they don't have management at this time because their mom was the one that handled all the managing duties. And if you want to leave the family well wishes or make a donation for the funeral costs, we have a link to do so on our website. Also happening today, a couple of events to tell you about. A ribbon cutting ceremony is taking place to celebrate Alexandra Lozano Immigration Law's new office in Yakima. That's happening early this morning, and the law office is offering a day of free legal consultations at their new location. It starts out at 10:30 this morning, and it's at 3911 Castlevale Road in Yakima. Also starting today is the 3-day-long Pendleton Powwow. The theme this year is Two Cultures, One Community. This year's powwow is reported to be the biggest powwow that Pendleton has ever hosted, with a lot of dancing and singing and drumming in many different categories. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, first responders from around the region hosted a meet and greet with the community. Why they say events like these can help inspire future first responders in our area. Our very own Monique Ledesma has that report. And looking outside, 27 degrees. Sunrise is at 6:47. We'll be back with more headlines right after this.
The President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row has been extended, so there's still time to save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out special purchases while they last, plus 6 years, no interest. But hurry, the extended President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with the limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Looking for a car with more room for adventure? Make your presence known when you drive away in a new 2024 Kia Sportage LX with all-wheel drive from Overturf Kia. Now only $29,999. Plus, get 4.25% interest for up to 48 months. You'll find a great selection of new vehicles in stock now. Take delivery today or reserve a car that's on its way. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
The news you care about most is news that happens close to home.
At Apple Valley News Now, our coverage focuses on Yakima, Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, and all areas from the Blues to the Cascades.
Families, schools, safety, plus so much more.
We got it covered. Plus, we'll tell you what's on the way and how it will affect you and your family.
On air, online, and mobile.
We're Apple Valley News Now, and we're on your side.
We're on your side.
We're Apple Valley News Now, always on your side.
See, Alice, it's snowy and cold out here, but in Triple Play's toasty indoor water park, people are happy and warm.
This is snow?
Right, Roy, she's never seen it.
It's cold and sticks to my feet. This stuff rules.
Ah, look, she made a snow, Roy.
That is clearly a snow stand.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including bowling, ropes course, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Who is that?
My Aunt Shirley.
The President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row has been extended, so there's still time to save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out special purchases while they last, plus 6 years, no interest. But hurry, the extended President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
The best way to end your day.
That is good TV.
Friends, tonight at 11:05.
Check this out, making sweet connections with the community. Law and fire officials hosted the first coffee and ice cream with first responders at Country Mercantile. Organizers say it's events like these that can help plant that spark for future first responders.
Washington State Patrol Trooper Brian Villanueva says events like these are personal to him and remind him of why he was inspired to go into law enforcement himself.
I've had a lot of these events when I was growing up, and I had a positive impact from local law enforcement, and that's why I chose to become a law enforcement officer today. And I feel like it's a nice impact to have on children that may not have the best perception about law enforcement, and we can just show them that we're human beings and we're out here to protect them and serve them whenever we can.
Deputy Fire Chief Randy Ost, who is with Richland Fire and EMS, says it's not every day they get to interact with people outside of work situations.
It's really unique, I think. There's more behind the 911 calls and the 911 system, and we want to get to know our community on a different level than just in the emergency situations.
Trooper Villanueva says although fire and law officials wear different uniforms, they really are just one team.
It means a lot. Our local law enforcement and EMTs and fire service here in the Tri-Cities, we really are just one team. No matter if you're a city police officer, a county deputy, or a state trooper, or fire EMS, we all work as a team. We all rely on each other in a time of need, and we all assist each other when we can.
At events like these, Deputy Chief Ost says all hats are off, and it's all about letting loose and showing people who they are behind their badges.
It's all about building relationships with our community, building relationships with our partners throughout the community, and really just engaging and having fun.
And just really see the support that this community has for law enforcement officers is really great to see.
It's likely they'll have more events like these to help connect them with the community. He says the biggest takeaway of the event is the reunion of local officials and getting to interact with others in a positive way. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, it's a weather record we never want to make. Why 2023 weather events are ones for the record books when it comes to people and where they live, and what states were hit the hardest. And looking outside, it's getting a little lighter out there. Temperature is 27 degrees. It has dropped a few degrees since when I came in. Meteorologist Tiffany Savona will have your first alert full forecast. That is coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere.
Did you know Ustria Health has 3 full-time board-certified orthopedic surgeons? Pain in your hands, knees, hips, or shoulders can reduce your quality of life. Orthopedic doctors repair bone, joint, ligament, and tendon injuries, which can relieve debilitating pain. Our surgeons treat tendonitis and carpal tunnel, repair broken bones and fractures, and replace painful, worn-out joints, putting you back in motion. Ustria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
We're Washington Broadband, Yakima's original internet company, with over 250 square miles of fixed wireless, 60 miles of cable, 20 miles of fiber to the home. We are serious internet. Throughout the year, our crews are building fiber and cable to homes and businesses in the upper Yakima Valley. We've never raised our prices in 28 years. With 7-day-a-week support, we're also a phone company. Go to WABroadband.com to find us. We're Yakima's hometown source to the world.
When you need legal help, trust Quantum Legal. We're here for you in times of trouble, whether you need assistance with criminal defense, personal injury, or have been injured on the job. Law is a complicated matter. Our team of experts will fight for you and help you find the best solution for your situation. Don't let life's challenges get the best of you. We're here to help. Call us today at 509-783-5551 or visit our website at quantumlegal.com.
It's a most unusual museum.
Just as wonderful as the inside is the views you can get from the outside.
High on a hill over the Columbia Gorge.
What I really love about it is the people who come.
Fly the Northwest over the Maryhill Museum. Apple Valley News Now at 6, Tuesday.
What makes parents so annoying?
If you ask my dad what time it is, tell you how to build a clock. You might just want to know what time it was.
Next live, Tony Award winner Aaron Tveit and Guy Fieri.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
PAR, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you going to build?
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Tiffany Savona.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Tiffany Savona, and we are starting off with temperatures below the freezing mark. It's 27 degrees right now in the Tri-Cities. A little bit of patchy fog developing there in the distance, but it really hasn't settled too far down to the surface just yet. Visibility still at 8 miles, doing okay. We'll continue to monitor that situation. Official sunrise in about a half an hour. Now, if you're not seeing any fog this morning, which is the case for many locations, you should be able to spot Venus and Mars very close together in the southeast sky this morning. You have another 10-15 minutes or so before the sky gets too bright for you to really see both of these, but Venus will be the brightest planet in the southeast sky this morning alongside a much dimmer Mars. So a treat on this Friday morning if you can see that. Satellite and radar showing that things are quiet, high pressure in control. The only rain on the map is off the coast of Oregon. So we're going to keep it dry today. A beautiful end to the work week. Yesterday, we actually hit 60 degrees, and today we're going to get very close to that number once again. So lots of sunshine on your Friday. 58 degrees in the Tri-Cities, 56 in Pendleton, 56 in Prosser, 56 degrees in Yakima. So try to get outside and take a walk at least some point throughout the day today. And I'm sure those kids will want to get outside after school today as well. We have a full moon tonight and early tomorrow morning. It's going to be exactly full tomorrow morning at 4:30, but many of you probably won't be awake at that time. So the moon will appear full tonight. It's called the snow moon. February's full moon called the snow moon because typically that's when a lot of locations typically see their most snow. Now the moonrise today will be at 4:50. Moonrise tomorrow closer to 6 o'clock. And I do think we will have more clouds tomorrow. So tonight's going to be the better night to check that out. Temperatures overnight tomorrow morning into the low and middle 30s once again. And tomorrow, here we go. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds. Not as much sunshine as today, but it's still going to be a pretty nice Saturday across the region with high temperatures topping out around 60 degrees, an early taste of spring today and tomorrow. 57 in Walla Walla, 55 Dayton, 57 Prosser, and 58 degrees in Yakima. So it's always nice when the nice weather is on the weekends. We will see some changes as we head into Sunday. So we're going to be watching a very strong storm system moving in from Canada. What's going to happen is that is going to dump heavy snow along the Cascades starting Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. Could bring us a little bit of valley rain late Sunday night into the day on Monday. Now, winter storm watches have already been posted for the Cascades. Heavy snow likely above 1,500 feet, 1 to 2 feet of snow. There could even be some higher totals, possibly up to 30 inches along the highest elevations. The worst impacts, you got to think of those passes, will be Sunday night, early Monday morning. So if you're traveling to, say, Seattle or Portland this weekend, you'll want to try to head home early Sunday morning. Windy, warm, and dry for us on Sunday. Rain won't move in until Sunday night into the day on Monday, so most of your weekend is going to be dry. It's going to be warm. Mainly rain for us Sunday night into Monday. Mountain snow looking lightly and dangerous travel likely across the passes Sunday into Monday. Warm weather continues through the weekend, and then it turns colder Monday and Tuesday before temperatures are back in the 50s. So a temperature roller coaster. It's what we typically see this time of year. 56 in Yakima today, 58 on Saturday, 55 in windy Sunday, and then we have a slight chance for rain late Sunday into Monday and Tuesday. Walla Walla close to 60 this weekend. We could hit 60 in Hermiston. Windy everywhere on Sunday with a better chance for rain, possibly mixing with snow Sunday night into Monday for Walla Walla and Hermiston. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. In some more weather-related news, natural disasters forced nearly 2.5 million Americans from their homes in 2023. That's according to estimates from a new Census Bureau survey released yesterday. The number of people displaced last year is less than it was in 2022. But the 2023 survey provides important context for a year that brought a record number of billion-dollar weather and climate disasters. There were 28 such disasters in 2023, far surpassing the previous high of 22 events in 2020. Florida and 3 other states, Texas, California, and Louisiana, accounted for nearly half of all of those who lost their homes in 2023. And when we return on Good Morning Northwest, if you have United as a healthcare provider, you may have some trouble in getting your prescription filled. We have what the company is dealing with after a cyber attack and how it's affecting pharmacies across the nation. That's up next.
Your dream home starts at Floor & Home with Mohawk waterproof flooring made for life. You dream, we install. This is your forever floor. This month, get up to 50% off at your local Walla Walla or Richland Floor & Home.
American Idol goes all over the nation.
The hometown's big and small.
Home is where the dream starts.
Inspiring.
And Idol is where the dream takes off.
You're going to Hollywood.
In life's delicate moments, turn to the compassionate experts at Tri-Cities Chaplaincy. Whether it's hospice, palliative, or grief care for adults and children, we are here for you in Benton and Franklin counties. And the best part, our grief support comes at no cost to you. When life gets tough, we're here to guide you, ensuring you live your best life, even through the toughest moments. Visit us today at tccbestlife.org.
Hi, I'm Dawn Stone, and this is my husband, Randy.
And we built this kitchen.
No, Tim did.
Hi.
You see, our kitchen used to look like this. It just wasn't us. So I went to PAR, and that's where I met Gail, who helped me choose my cabinets, countertops, and hardware at the PAR Design Center, and we love the results. So you could say I designed this kitchen.
Yep.
PAR, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
The table is set for Walla Walla's culinary celebration this February. Walla Walla Restaurant Month returns to spotlight the Valley's culinary stars. For 2024, the focus is on the bounty of the area's fine dining with 9 local restaurants. Each restaurant is offering 3-course meals for only $42 all month long. Visit our website here for more information to reserve your dining experience. Come savor the flavors from some of your favorite places or discover a new one during Walla Walla's Restaurant Month.
Meet David Silva of Athena, Oregon, an Apple Valley News Now viewer and Stacy Lee fan.
Stacy Lee covers the whole Columbia Basin, not just Tri-Cities and Yakima.
Stacy Lee, First Alert Weather from Apple Valley News Now.
She's there for all of us.
On your side.
Your dream home starts at Floor & Home with Mohawk waterproof flooring made for life. You dream, we install. This is your forever floor. This month, get up to 50% off at your local Walla Walla or Richland Floor & Home.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law.
Welcome back. In health news and in honor of Heart Month, Trios Health and Lord's Health are holding a free heart health screening event, and that's tomorrow from 9 a.m. to noon. Various screenings will be available, as well as educational booths and healthcare professionals on site to answer any heart health questions that you may have. There will also be giveaways. It's happening at the Trios Care Center at South Ridge at 3730 Plaza Way in Kennewick. Also, pharmacies across the country are having trouble processing some prescriptions because of a cyber attack. United Health says the cyber attack was against its Change Healthcare business, which processes insurance prescriptions for tens of thousands of pharmacies nationwide. The company said it has isolated the attack and is working to restore its systems. Law enforcement has also been notified, and the investigation is ongoing. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, a Yakima businesswoman is taking her passion mobile. How she's bringing the gift of reading to any and all who want it, despite some big odds. And the NTSB has released its report on a factory explosion that killed several people in Pennsylvania. All that and more in our next half hour.
American Idol goes all over the nation.
The hometowns, big
and small.
Home is where the dream starts.
Inspiring.
An Idol is where the dream takes off.
You're going to Hollywood.
What's bothering Archie?
Politics. What the Supreme Court says ain't got nothing to do with the law. Goldfish. Come on now, I draw the line on goldfish.
All in the Family, Sunday night at 8 on MeTV for Yakima and the Tri-Cities.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with the limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again. And with the rain, snow, and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Get your free roof assessment today. So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Here are some frequently asked questions we get about Dial-A-Ride services. Is Dial-A-Ride going away? No, it is not. All Dial-A-Ride services to Tri-Cities, Benton City, and Prosser is exactly the same. Are drivers being laid off? No. If you qualify for Dial-A-Ride or want to find out if you qualify for Dial-A-Ride services, call 509-735-0160 or visit bft.org to learn more.
Did you know Ustria Health has 3 full-time board-certified orthopedic surgeons? Pain in your hands, knees, hips, or shoulders can reduce your quality of life. Orthopedic doctors repair bone, joint, ligament, and tendon injuries, which can relieve debilitating pain. Our surgeons treat tendonitis and carpal tunnel, repair broken bones and fractures, and replace painful, worn-out joints, putting you back in motion. Ustria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
How does free college or career training sound? It's possible. Washington College Grant is one of the most generous financial aid programs in the country. Eligible Washington residents can get free money for certificate programs, job training, apprenticeships, or college. You can go full-time or part-time, so you can work and continue your education at the same time. Learn more at wagrant.org. That's wagrant.org.
Are you an experienced machinist? We have a job for you. Pasco Machine is hiring now. We offer generous wages, overtime, double time, full medical, paid holidays, and 4-day work schedule. Apply online today at pascomachine.com.
What makes parents so annoying?
If you ask my dad what time it is, tell you how to build a clock. You might just want to know what time it was.
Next live, Tony Award winner Aaron Tveit and Guy Fieri. Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
A flight over the Maryhill Museum on Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, Washington has been ranked as the worst state to start a business in this year. Find out how one Yakima businesswoman is bucking that trend. And more money coming to Yakima and Kittitas counties to help reduce the risk of wildfires. How exactly they plan on doing that, coming up. And meteorologist Tiffany Savona has your full weather forecast. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. The time is 6:30 on Friday, February 23rd. Let's check in right away on your forecast with meteorologist Tiffany Savona. And Tiffany, it's a little chilly out there, or a lot of chilly, I would say.
Yes, it is a bit colder this morning compared to this time yesterday morning, Jessica. So you will need the heavy coat. You'll need the layers this morning. You'll be able to shed some of those as we get into the afternoon, as we're looking at an early taste of spring once again today, but it doesn't feel like spring this morning. 27 degrees in the Tri-Cities. Notice the sky in Pasco getting brighter and brighter as we approach the official sunrise at 6:47. There's some patchy fog out there, but it doesn't really look like it's getting any worse. So once the sun rises, that'll allow temperatures to climb and get rid of any of that patchy fog out there this morning. 35 right now in Walla Walla, 35 in Pendleton. So what a difference in elevation. The valley here significantly colder. It's 29 in Prosser and 28 degrees in Yakima. So here's what you can expect today. Yakima 32 by 8, middle 50s by 4 o'clock. Tri-Cities will be in the lower 50s at noon, close to 60 later today. Lots of sun. And Walla Walla 30s this morning, 40s by noon, 56 later today. So it's going to continue as we head into the weekend, at least the warm weather. But if you're traveling, find out when snow can impact those mountain passes coming up a little bit later on in the show. Jessica, back to you.
Thank you, Tiffany. So Forbes ranked Washington as the worst state to start a business in 2024 because only 59% of them survive. A number of local businesses have closed recently, but Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell brings us a story of a new business that's thriving.
The traveling book bus isn't your typical bookstore. Based off of the old bookmobiles, there's no brick and mortar storefront. Instead, it's set up in the parking lot of a different local business every week.
I love discovering new places, but I feel like sometimes you need an excuse to discover a new place. So I like saying that the traveling book bus is the perfect excuse to try that winery that you haven't tried to yet.
Partnering with local coffee shops, wineries, breweries, or any other local business with enough private parking to set up. A unique business model she had to figure out from scratch.
I like numbers and I like paperwork. I'm weird. So it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. There's a little bit of a headache trying to figure out exactly what licenses you need. But I got there in the end.
A bookstore with a little bit of everything. Fiction, kids' books, classics, non-fiction, young adult, fantasy, and...
The romance section is the best-selling section. It is always the one that I have to restock every week. It helps that that's what I read. You always know how it's going to end. Happy.
But she says what makes the traveling book bus so special is the personalized experience.
I love books, but what I like even more is talking to people, recommending things, doing events, meeting authors. And I just wanted to do more of that.
The traveling book bus will be at Gilbert Cellars on Saturday and at the Willow Cafe and Market on Sunday. And to find out more about where they're going to be next, you can visit their page on Facebook or on Instagram. Reporting from the Yakima newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Emily. And Tri-Cities Day at the Capitol continues today in Olympia. The Tri-Cities Legislative Council's goal is to find ways to keep growing and enhancing the resiliency of the Tri-Cities and the greater Mid-Columbia region. Topics they'll be discussing include funding for the Small Modular Reactor Project, amending targeted urban area property tax exemptions, and creating a green fertilizer manufacturing work group. And you can find more on this on applevalleyNewsNow.com. And the Biden administration is putting an extra $500 million into the USDA Forest Service wildfire crisis strategy. And some of that money will be spent in Yakima and Kittitas counties. Nearly $21 million is being invested in the Central Washington Initiative. It's a plan to reduce the risk wildfires present to communities, critical infrastructure, and natural resources in and around the Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest. The money will go towards things like preventative treatments to reduce fuels, also improve forest health, and build community resilience to wildfires. And in national headlines, the National Transportation Safety Board has released new documents related to the deadly chocolate factory explosion in Pennsylvania last year. The NTSB releasing 151 documents related to its investigation into the deadly explosion at R.M. Palmer Company on March 24th of last year. 7 employees were killed and 11 people were hurt. Officials say some employees reported the smell of gas shortly before Building 2 exploded and no evacuation order was given. Employees told investigators that they were not trained on how to respond to a natural gas emergency. The NTSB also found R.M. Palmer's emergency preparedness plan addresses food and safety but had no procedures regarding natural gas emergencies. Officials say Building 2 exploded just before 5:00 p.m. due to a natural gas leak, though what ignited the gas is still unknown. And also new, a female body was found on the University of Georgia campus in Athens, and police suspect foul play. UGA police responded to a welfare check request for a person who had not returned from a run early yesterday morning. During a search of the area, officers found a female body near Lake Herrick. The identity of the victim has not been released, but police say the woman was not a UGA student. She's reported to be a student at a different school, but her identity has not been released. And classes are canceled for the rest of the week, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is teaming up with Athens-Clarke County Police in the probe. There is no suspect at this time, but investigators don't believe there is immediate danger to others on campus. And this is the second death reported on the UGA campus within a 24-hour period. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, it's fashion and art imitating life. We've got the lowdown on some entertainment news. Your Hollywood Minute is coming up. And looking outside, it's getting lighter. 27 degrees out there. Sunrise is in about 10 minutes. Meteorologist Tiffany Savona will have your first alert full forecast. That is when we come back.
Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
Life is a whirlwind. I wish I could swim. When there's disaster to deal with, who are we?
911, what's your emergency?
Let's go, let's go! That's it! Go back, go back, go back!
I'm right here with you.
Spectrum Internet delivers with fast and reliable speeds nationwide, so there's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum. Now get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi and a Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line free for 12 months. Visit Spectrum.com or call 844-242-1479. Spectrum Internet offers speed and reliability, while advanced Wi-Fi gives you best-in-class security and privacy for all your connected devices. And Spectrum Mobile delivers unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G included. Switch now and get Spectrum Internet for $49.99 with advanced Wi-Fi and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited free for 12 months. Start saving today. Go to Spectrum.com, a Spectrum store, call 844-242-1479, or scan to call now.
Are you looking for a bank that has traditional values and modern solutions? Are you looking for a bank that is member-owned? Are you looking for a bank that leaves a lasting impact on the community? I've got news for you. You're not looking for a bank. Belong to something better. Join Hapo Community Credit Union, where you are more than just a member. Visit hapo.org to join today. Where do you credit union?
It's a most unusual museum.
Just as wonderful as the inside is the views you can get from the outside.
High on a hill over the Columbia Gorge.
What I really love about it is the people who come.
Fly the Northwest over the Maryhill Museum. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Next ET.
We're having new experiences though.
Dan and Shay bring double the trouble on The Voice. Plus, only we're on set with NCIS star and director Rocky Carroll. Just you wait. Next ET.
On Apple Valley News Now. On Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back. Today in entertainment news, there's a big screen reunion at this weekend's award show, an artist imitating life in a new movie. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Runway is a fashion magazine, so an interest in fashion is crucial.
What makes you think I'm not interested in fashion?
Talk about a fashionable reunion. The Devil Wears Prada stars Emily Blunt, Anne Hathaway, and Meryl Streep are set to present an award together at this year's Screen Actors Guild Awards. The film did not win any SAG Awards back in 2007, a fact they may mention. The 30th annual SAG Awards stream live on Netflix this Saturday.
I'm not comfortable with this.
Well, you're going to have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Hilary Swank talks a lot more than Alan Ritchson in Ordinary Angels and apparently in real life.
I know Hilary, and she does a lot of talking. I mean, she just yammers on and on. You learn to tune it out.
No, but you know what's funny is remember when we have scenes where I have like a monologue, and you'd go, and I'd then have a monologue, and and I was like,
She really had to do the heavy lifting.
I was like, wait, you're saying There were like 3 times when you said I'm like, but that doesn't help me figure out my next line. Can you like do your like this, like, and so that I know where my next lead in is?
Right, yeah, I was doing my part.
Ordinary Angels is now in theaters. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Also in entertainment news, a new movie heading to theaters this summer is based on the popular Borderlands game franchise. The series spawned more than half-dozen spin-offs, including the Dungeons & Dragons themed Tiny Tina's Wonderlands in 2022. And the Borderlands movie is set to arrive in theaters in August. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, it's our final look at this week's State of the School Districts. Good Morning Northwest Riley Fitzgerald joins us next to tell us what the Richland School District is hoping to tackle in the coming months into the next year. And looking outside, it's getting even lighter. 27 degrees is still the temperature. Meteorologist Tiffany Savona will have your first alert full forecast. That is right when we come back.
Your dream home starts at Floor & Home with Mohawk waterproof flooring made for life. You dream, we install. This is your forever floor. This month, get up to 50% off at your local Walla Walla or Richland Floor & Home.
American Idol goes all over the nation.
The hometown's big
and small.
Home is where the dream starts.
Inspiring.
An Idol is where the dream takes off.
You're going to Hollywood.
You make dreams come true.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
My name is Lauren Martin. I started to work out at Hanford in 1982, and for 20 years I worked with the fleet, repairing cranes, locomotives, cars, ambulances, fire trucks, everything. After 20 years, then I came down with a disease. There are some very, very expensive drugs, and my copay on that is $0. All I have to do is pick up the phone, and it's there.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records, and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not, and just kind of let them know what those next steps are, the timeline of how long it could take for them to get approved.
The Chevy Silverado, with available Super Cruise connected by OnStar. Only Super Cruise lets you drive hands-free and tow hands-free. It'll help you get to the adventure energized, and it'll help drive you home. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all 2024 Silverado 1500 models, or get $5,000 total value on this Silverado High Country when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
See your community Chevy dealers.
We're keeping our holiday sale rolling at More Furniture, and it's your chance to save big this weekend only. For 48 exclusive hours, you'll get special interest-free financing until 2026 with no money down, plus free white glove delivery, and we'll pay your sales tax. Savings like this won't last, so visit your local showroom today, only at More Furniture for less.
Meet David Silva of Athena, Oregon, an Apple Valley News Now viewer and Stacy Lee fan.
Stacy Lee covers the whole Columbia Basin, not just Tri-Cities and Yakima.
Stacy Lee, First Alert Weather from Apple Valley News Now.
She's there for all of us.
On your side.
Your dream home starts at Floor & Home with Mohawk waterproof flooring made for life. You dream, we install. This is your forever floor. This month, get up to 50% off at your local Walla Walla or Richland Floor & Home.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now. Extra, extra.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Tiffany Savona.
Good morning, Northwest. It is a cold start to your Friday morning. You're definitely going to need the heavy coat, and if you have a seat warmer in your car, it's going to be a good idea to turn it on with temperatures below 32 degrees. We're talking about 27 degrees as we speak. The sun officially rising above the horizon now as well. So thankfully the fog hasn't really gotten any worse this morning in the Tri-Cities because there certainly was potential. So 27 in the Tri-Cities. We're at 35 in Walla Walla, 29 Prosser. We're at 30 degrees at Hanford, 28 in Yakima, and 28 degrees in Ellensburg. Things are quiet this morning all across the state of Washington and most of Oregon. That's all thanks to this big blue high pressure firmly in control of our weather. And that high pressure will start to shift a little bit more south today and certainly during the day on Sunday. So we do expect a pattern change by the end of the weekend. But until then, enjoy the spring-like weather here across the Columbia Basin. High temperatures today should top out close to 60, 58 degrees in the Tri-Cities, 56 Walla Walla, 59 in Hermiston, 56 degrees in Yakima, plenty of sunshine, just a light wind out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Can't get much better than that at the end of February. We will have a full moon, which will appear full tonight. It'll be officially full tomorrow morning at 4:30, but many of you will probably be sleeping. I hope you're sleeping at that hour. So check the moon out tonight. It's the full snow moon. This is February's full moon. It'll appear full tonight, and the moon will rise tonight around 4:50. Tomorrow it rises closer to 6 o'clock, but we will have more in the way of cloud cover tomorrow, so you probably will still be able to see it tomorrow, but tonight will be the better night to try to get a glimpse. Temperatures tonight will drop into the lower to middle 30s by early Saturday morning. And Saturday, here we go. We will have more in the way of cloud cover, like I mentioned. Mix of sun and clouds, though. It's not going to be completely overcast. And we will warm up with high temperatures tomorrow, a degree or two higher than today. We're going for a high of 60 in the Tri-Cities, 60 degrees in Hermiston, 57 Walla Walla, 58 in Pendleton, 58 in Yakima. So Saturday will be the better weekend day when you look at both. But Sunday's not going to be that bad either. You just have to deal with the wind if you're going to be outside. Sunday in the morning, we're going to be watching a strong storm system moving in from Canada. We're dry most of the day on Sunday. During the afternoon, heavy rain develops along the Cascades, and that will continue Sunday night into the day on Monday. And by Sunday night, we could see a little bit of light rain push into the valley. So winter storm watches have already been posted for the Cascades. Heavy snow likely above 1,500 feet. 1 to 2 feet of snow look likely with some isolated higher totals. Some spots could get as high as 30 inches between Sunday and Monday alone. Worst travel impacts will be Sunday night. So locally, here's what to expect. For us, it's going to be a windy, warm, and dry Sunday. Rain will move in Sunday night into the day on Monday. It's mainly going to be rain for us. Some snow may mix in, especially along the foothills of the Blues, but expect dangerous travel along the mountain passes Sunday and Monday if you're traveling. Otherwise, enjoy the spring-like weather all weekend long. It will be windy on Sunday. There's a reminder we could see gusts up to 40 miles per hour, and then it turns colder Monday and Tuesday with temperatures dropping back down into the 40s. And next week stays on the active side, especially along the foothills of the Blues. So enjoy this warm weekend because we have better chances for rain and snow early next week with temperatures dropping back down into the 40s. Let's take a look at Schweitzer Mountain. Here's your ski report brought to you by Schweitzer. It's a pretty shot early this morning, seeing a little bit of sunshine there as the sky gets brighter. And unfortunately, they didn't see any snow overnight or over the past 24 hours, but the forecast is looking pretty good going into Sunday and Monday. They could get another foot of snow, and winter storm watch out for Schweitzer Sunday into Monday. 29 degrees if you're going to Schweitzer today. Ski Bluewood, 42, so a little bit milder, kind of like spring skiing there with a base depth of 32 inches. Bluewood and even White Pass expecting more snow this weekend, Sunday into Monday. White Pass, if you're headed to the resort today, 41 degrees. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. In some education news, this week the Tri-Cities Hispanic Chamber of Commerce held a networking event for Tri-Cities school districts to talk about their plans and goals for the year. Riley Fitzgerald joins us live now in studio. Good morning, Riley. Tell us about what you learned from the state of the school districts.
Good morning, Jessica. The state of the school districts happened earlier this week, where superintendents in the Tri-Cities met to talk about what's going on in their school districts. I talked with Richland School District Superintendent Shelley Redinger about significant changes coming to the safety of local schools this year and how community involvement is at the core of some future plans within RSD. The Richland School District passed its levy last year for capital projects. A big piece of that is improving safety and security in school buildings. According to Superintendent Redinger, the most important thing is knowing who is in the building at all times.
Safety, well-being, academic success, and community engagement, all these different areas. And really, we need to be accountable to our public for making sure our students are Richland ready.
RSD is working on a partnership with an outside security company to test for vulnerable spots and adding things like strategic fencing or cameras.
And they said to us, wow, you've got some areas that you need to improve, and mainly was our entryways. So we're doing single point of entry and vestibules, and it will have video surveillance and buzz-in just to make sure that we know who's in the building.
Those improvements start this spring and should be finished by this fall. A program that kicked off for the Richland School District at the start of the school year is the Character Strong Social Emotional Learning Program. It was a district-wide implementation, and while Superintendent Redinger says elementary and middle schools have taken and ran with it, it's been harder for high schoolers, specifically seniors, to do the same.
And they're giving us really good feedback, and we're giving that feedback to the founders of the program, that this is how our seniors, our upperclassmen are feeling about the program. So they're taking that feedback and learning from it, but I really do feel elementary, middle school, it's going great. And I do think when the students have had it in kindergarten all the way through, it's going to be pretty amazing.
And the school district isn't just looking at feedback from students, but also from the community. For families, there's a newer platform to RSD called Parent Square to be able to reach out.
But there's also a platform, Thought Exchange, where people can reach out, weigh in on comments, and even star ideas from others.
And that will help us form the 25 to 30-year plan. And so then the community will know, okay, here's the first bond and why, and then we would lay it out so that we would just keep building on that and try to keep the tax rate flat. That's another big goal, is to, so it doesn't keep going up and down, up and down. People can kind of count on what it would be.
The Richland School District is considering a new operations center for students possibly being able to work at or do internships from within the school district. This may include things like nutrition services, diesel mechanics, graphic design, grounds, and more. Again, RSD uses a platform, Thought Exchange, to reach out for feedback and consideration. Later this morning, you can find that on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com. In studio, I'm Riley Fitzgerald. Jessica, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Riley, and we'll be right back with the morning sprint and a final check on your forecast. But first, a look at what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, it's the great debate, to recline or not to recline.
Surely you can't be serious.
The latest in Recline Gate, this recent flight generating millions of views on social media.
But I think that you should be able to recline your seat on a 10-hour flight. I told her, I was like, if you want to be comfy, get first class.
Taylor Futch was flying from Munich, Germany to Miami and says when they hit cruising altitude, she decided to recline.
I kept feeling like my seat was being pushed forward.
Futch even getting the flight attendant to weigh in.
I asked the flight attendant, am I allowed to recline? And she was like, yes. And I said, well, the girl behind me is saying that I can't. And she just kind of rolled her eyes.
The passenger has the right to recline. It's a matter of courtesy.
Coming up at 7 a.m., we're talking to passengers on both sides of the aisle. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
When you have moderate to severe eczema, it's okay to show off. With Dupixent, show off your clearer skin and less itch, because you have plenty of reasons to show off your skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, you can stay ahead of your eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your skin from within. Many adults saw 90% clearer skin. Some even achieved long-lasting clearer skin and fast itch relief after first dose. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Now, the morning sprint.
Let's take a look at this top headline today. We have an update on the case of the Red Tea Garden owner, Shu Yi Wu, who died from injuries sustained during the robbery at the restaurant on February 18th. 39-year-old Emerald Pena is accused of manslaughter and robbery. Milton Freewater police say a warrant has been issued for Pena's arrest, and they are still looking for her.
We're starting off on a cold note this morning in Pasco. This is what it looks like out of our Dust Devils sky cam. We do have a few clouds out there. We had a little bit of fog earlier, but the sun is now up, so temperatures will be rising, and we want them to rise with temperatures starting off around 27 this morning. So here's what to expect. Another beautiful day out there once we start to warm up. So take the heavy coat to work with you and grab the sunglasses as well, because we will see plenty of sun. We'll end up in the mid to upper 50s in Yakima, Tri-Cities, and Walla Walla. Look at tomorrow. Highs around 60, 58 in Yakima. It will be a windy and warm Sunday, but dry. The chance for rain doesn't move back into the forecast until Sunday night into the day on Monday. Next week is looking more unsettled, breezy, and cooler with temperatures dropping into the 40s Monday, Tuesday. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany, and thank you for waking up with us and watching Good Morning Northwest. GMA is next. Your local news is back tonight at 5, and you can always find the latest updates on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.